Andiamo. Oh, yeah, yeah. Okay, okay. Good morning, everybody. We're ready. Supercoppa, Derby d'Italia Day. Anthony, good morning, my man. How's it going?
Living the dream out. Now, I wasn't, it's early here. It's really early for you. But whenever you hear that intro music, you're like, okay. Yeah, is Juventus really playing today? And then you hear that intro song, the fans chanting, gets the blood bubbling.
That's
Let's
right.
pitter patter, get at her.
That's right. I'm ready. Bobby's always ready. Good
Always
morning.
here.
Good morning, Bob. Let's get going. Yeah, Supercopa final, and there's a lot of mixed feelings about the Supercopa, the trophy, and
Hmm.
everything. We would definitely talk on that. We're going to touch on some of the news going into this one first, though. Obviously, the big ticket item was the Chiesa injury and Chiesa going down. That one was a big blow for Juve. Now we're trying to figure out how we deal with it. And since then, obviously, changes things Mercado wise. And not only for now, maybe possibly looking for a solution from outside or um, trying to promote from within. And that's the main discussion. So obviously, and you know the deal. We've got Asmoon from Zenit, who's a
Hmm.
possibility. 6 months left on his contract. Figures as low as 5 million euros.
He
Okay.
plays for that team that we dog walked a couple times, right? Okay.
Yeah, yeah, that's the guy.
Just checking. All right.
Now, and so there's him. There was just some rumors popping up about Bruno Guimaraes, who's obviously a Brazilian midfielder for Lyon, 45 million there, whatnot. But just a couple options and whatnot. But I want to get your thoughts with the case
Hmm.
injury. Should we look to possibly promote Sule up, and then guys like Kulishevsky and whatnot get more minutes, and Sule can cover on the bench, or should we be looking at the possibility of bringing somebody in?
Okay. I guess you have the right guy on the show to ask about knee injuries because I get this shiver down my spine whenever it's that face and the leg recoil. Like it's hard for me to watch it, and it's a long road. Oh man, I'm sorry.
Death
Yes,
Clutch.
yes.
And
Um,
by the way, Zwickmeister here, we will get to our
we'll
feelings
get to
for
it.
tonight. Okay. I always feel good. Ant and I yesterday were feeling good too. So good feelings, my man. I
It's
represent
a
the
new day.
kit from 2006 when Del Piero's beautiful winner against them, trying to bring the positive vibes, but we feel good. And sorry to cut you off.
Well, it's a long road for the young man. It's people say, oh, you'll come back in like 6, 7 months. Whatever. It's such a common injury now that it almost loses it's lost its shine. But it's a long road. It's a lot of work. It is probably his toughest mental and physical challenge yet. I know you make it to that level. There's a lot of hurdles that you have to get over to be that type of footballer. But this is probably right up there with it. So uh, I think you mentioned yesterday on Twitter about him being back September. Let's just hope it's
So
September
yeah,
because
I
it's
mean,
6 to 7 months. But
they said nowadays, depending on the player
mhm.
and circumstance, you can get with 6 months. Chiellini came back in 6.5 months, but they said the ideal recovery, and this was the doctor that Mirko Di Natale interviewed about it. He said the ideal rehab is 9 months. So that puts him just into like some around, probably late September, October, when season's already started. And I said, that's fine. Take your time.
Yeah,
He's too young and he's got too much of a career remaining. So I'd rather even start next season without him if that's the case, right?
my fellow man right here.
Yeah.
Stay strong, my man. Stay strong. Um, yeah, it's especially with his being the type of player that he is, that explosive kind of player.
Yes.
His style of game. That's not a guy you want to bring back too early. So Godspeed, young man. We hope you come back, bigger and better. It's going to be a long road, but I'm sure he'll get through. I don't really have a lot of faith in that Juventus training staff, though. You know, I don't.
Dude, this was
You
a
know,
hot topic too. Was the fact that he had gone out, and then they were discussions, he went back in when, and I said it's very hard for any of us to speculate what
hmm
happens on that sideline. Did Chiesa give enough information? Did he go soft on the info because he wanted to get back out there? Nobody really knows, right?
hmm
But I mean, one of the things you and I both touched on with All or Nothing was, why is our training staff like 70 plus years old?
Dinosaurs.
Yeah. So it's
The guys sitting on the bench. They were sitting on the bench like this, chat with each other, like a couple of guys on the park bench feeding the pigeons. Like, who are these guys? This is our training. This is our crack training staff. Like, what are we talking about here?
yeah, I think there needs to be probably a little bit more investment there, and let's rejuvenate that training staff. There might be some more to sports science that they might be a little bit behind on, but uh, he found Vic Mister found Chiellini's words very interesting. Said that the
Hmm.
worst part is the part where you get back training and realizing your limitations. Now there is a fantastic
True.
article coming out on alluvcast.com from the one and only Jonathan Grade, who does the comparison, same age, Del Piero and Federico Chiesa.
Hmm.
We saw what it did to Del Piero. Del Piero had to adapt his game tremendously to make it
Hmm.
work after. The amount of pace he lost was crazy. So we will have to wait and see if, what and how is like it affects Chiesa. But fingers crossed that it's not, as drastic. Really,
Yeah.
his pace is one of his meal tickets, right? So we'll have to see. But I think he's a good enough player. He's solid. He's such a great dribbler. He could still adapt his game. He's the kind of guy
He'll be
that can
fine.
still adapt his game, but he would have to change it a lot because of, we talked about it, how he's such a head
Hmm.
down and direct player, right? So that's going to be the interesting part.
And it's a good point about the mental. Like, you come back and it's that first, like, when they say, okay, you're back to full training, it's that first cut. It's
Yeah.
that first, like, someone comes into you, takes a lot of mental fortitude to step back out there. Like, you sometimes, and some people think they're ready early,
Yeah.
not so much. So the replacement, like, okay, so it's already January, whatever the hell it is, January 8th, 12th.
Let's stay away from Bruno Guimaraes, the defensive
Sure.
midfielder, who I think would be a solid addition. We'd have to see one midfielder out.
Hmm.
Um, the price tag's pretty high. That kind of stops you from doing other things, right? But let's just stick with Azmoun, because Azmoun's market value is somewhere around 20 million euros. Okay.
You're talking about
But
a loan.
they're talking now about like 5 million, 3 million, bringing him in. And the reason is because he's got 6 months remaining on his contract. For me,
Mm.
if you brought him in, if you spent anything on a guy, there has to be the obligation to sign beyond. Otherwise,
Mhm.
we're just going into the summer and we're kind of handcuffing ourselves. So it's like, if you were going to bring Azmoun in, I think he's a good player. I think he can help this team. Anything like, if we're talking under 10 million euros, that's a steal. If there's intentions to sign beyond that 6 months. If there's no intentions to sign beyond the 6 months, then I'd prefer bringing up Sule.
Yeah, what are we doing here? Like, what do we want a striker? Do we want a short-term replacement? Do we want this? It's there's What do we want? Like, you got to pick one. And I don't see this injury as pushing the club to find a replacement for him. I think they're comfortable in the players that they have to replace him on the roster already. I still think a striker is the need. Not to say that Sule is like on Chiesa's level, or Kulishevsky is, but the team can manage their formation with the players that we have. But I still think the striker is a need. And what are we going to do? You got to bring in somebody for 6 months. Would you sign? Who would you bring in for 6 months?
Here's the thing.
Like,
Here's where
who
it
are you going
gets
to get?
complicated. The guys that we would probably consider coming in for six
Hmm.
months are going to be the teams that own them are not going to get rid of them without an obligation to purchase. So that's what kind of stops everything, right?
Right. Yep.
Then you get into the whole, if we don't bring somebody in, okay,
Hmm.
and we want to continue with the 4-3-3 as wingers, you're remaining with, Kulishevsky and Bernardeschi and Keane, who can go out there. Um, I honestly, like, as of late, I've been thinking, and we talked about it on the last show, is that I think Keane's better as a supplemental player, really.
Obviously,
And
100%
he
agree.
just he can't be that lead, right? And maybe he needs to be joining the ranks in the wing there. Sule is tremendously talented, still very,
Mhm.
very young, but he can offer some coverage and minutes coming up. Kyle George, he hasn't been getting enough minutes for us to really determine what we have there. We haven't
No
even
idea.
scratched the surface.
Yep.
So you're left with this, predicament where you have to figure out how you want to attack it. For me, any move we do now cannot prevent what our plans are in the summer. It's not
Fully
that
agree.
dire. That's how I
Yep.
feel. You agree?
Is I 100% agree. Is Keane potentially Chies's replacement on the wing?
Well, again, these are things we haven't seen enough, right?
Mhm.
So it's like it's tough, right? It's tough. Now you have also some Juventini that are throwing out 3-5-2. Now's the time to go 3-5-2. Some of the projections had your three center backs, obviously considering Danilo coming back, which should be next week. So you have, Bonucci, Delict, Chiellini, Danilo, Rugani. And then as wingbacks, you have Pellegrini, Bernardeschi, Quadrado on the other side and whatnot. And then you have your three midfielders. Everybody now
Mhm.
wants to see Arthur, Locatelli, McKennie. And then with, Morata up top and whatnot, and Dybala. The thing is, if we're going to go this route, I personally feel we run into an issue depth-wise. We still run into an issue depth-wise in terms of rotation, and
Yeah, but
it's
you're
tough.
saying if we stay with the 3-5-2, you don't think
If we wanted to go 3-5-2 now, commit to it. I still think it's a little light for the center backs. I also think it poses a different issue. You want your main ball playing back to be in the heart of that. So Bonucci would be
Mhm.
in the middle. The issue with the 3-5-2 becomes that guy also becomes your last stop. We've seen when we went 3-5-2
That's a
last
good
year
point.
that Bonucci got into some issues being the last stopper because the other guys, say it was Chiellini, Delict, Danilo, whatever, they get pulled to the sides in order to cover for wingbacks. Um,
Why don't you put Delict in the middle then?
yeah, but then you have your ball player
A lot
kind of
faster
off and it throws, you know what I mean? It's just there's little
because there's no
logistic things. You got
balance.
to pick
Yeah.
one way or another. You have to determine what's best for the overall group. People feel like now that's the way to go. I personally still say moving forward, I was always 4-2-3-1 till we got to this
Mhm.
point, especially with Chiesa back. I say 4-2-3-1 puts us on the throttle. That's how we need to play, in my personal opinion, is attack minded
Mhm.
and empty the clip. When we try to achieve this balance, we're too weak, in my personal opinion. Like it's just non-threatening to the other team, and we're too predictable. Emptying the clip, you could still do this now in a 4-3-3, in my opinion. I wouldn't switch to 3-5-2. Would you, Ant?
Well, if you know, plug to the website here. One of our writers, Ray, put a good article yesterday titled, I believe the title was "Are we ready for the 3-5-2?" And he puts in some interesting points on how we can still play at the 3-5-2 with the lineup that we have with Chiesa out, and Arthur as your regista, then Locatelli beside him. I'd say if someone in the chat, maybe one of the AGC boys, can put the link in the chat for everyone to click on it to go to. It's a great read. It's not very long. Ray makes some great points. That's his second good article in a row.
Yeah.
He's a great addition to the team. Um,
Gun to your head, would
you,
you switch it?
no, I think the 4-2-3-1. We have the right players for that. Even though the 3-5-2, there is some interesting arguments for it, but we have the players for the 4-2-3-1. It's worked, and we've gotten a glimpse of what Arthur and Locatelli can do when Locatelli is absolutely unleashed. And when he is unleashed, what happens? Goal against Torino, goal against Rome, right? When he's not stuck at the back.
Yeah.
So
Is
let's
I
see that
think
a little
and
bit
that's
more.
been the whole thing with Locatelli too, is just picking what the team needs more. Do we need him more at the back as the deep liar? Since Arthur come back, a lot of us have said no. It's a perfect
Hmm.
opportunity to have Arthur do what he does best and allow Loca to help support the goals. And the biggest thing for this team is scoring goals. So it should be, almost unanimous for everybody that, to better the group, we would need him up there.
Hmm.
But yeah, Eric's got a point. When Chiesa missed a match previously, we didn't switch to a 3-5-2, and I think it's not a good idea to just suddenly. And that's another thing too is we need to still find our bearings. So now all of a sudden a shift to that, just a lot of. It's frustrating because we should be further along at this point of the season,
Yeah.
And I think we can kind of agree on that. And
again, we haven't had our lineup, like injuries. Now Chiesa's out. Like, and what is this team? What are we? We're a 5th place team. We're in the quarterfinals. We're in the second round champions. Like, we don't even know what we are yet, and we're having I'd say okay season based on the start. What the hell are we?
Chat coming in here. Was recalling Douglas Costa ever considered to cover Fede's injury, or is it deal with Gremio confirmed? This has been going a while back where it was just basically stated by Romeo, I believe, too. Costa will not come back. Never considered. So
he actually confirmed yesterday. Douglas Costa confirmed yesterday that he's staying with Gremio.
He confirmed before that as well that he's just not coming back. Right. KM throws an answer back at you there. Depay for 6 months.
Again, like your point is what's the contract? Is it obligation to buy, or what's the other term that they have? Not obligation to buy, or
option.
Option
or obligation, right? Yeah.
But those are two different things.
And these are the current rumors is Depay. And to be honest, if it's a 6 month, no obligation, sure. Do it. And to be honest, even considering an obligation, but that's where everybody personally stands on Depay, right?
Can we afford it, Al? Arthur to Arsenal? Someone's got to come in.
Here's the thing that people need to figure out is, are we going to cash in? I don't think anybody understands just how much on the books, even after amortization kicks in, that Arthur stands the club. I don't see any team coming in paying that much that we actually make any kind of capital gain. And right now, looking at, again, after everything we just discussed about what we need offensively and how to free up Loka, I don't think you can do it. And I definitely don't think you should do it right now. Anth, would you?
Oh, well, here we go. We got live breaking news, Al. Look at this. Boom. New contact per Mirko. And then Mirko just confirmed Arsenal. Yeah, you can want anything you want. I want a new truck. I don't need a new haircut, but I want a lot of things. Doesn't mean it's going to happen.
Just stick to the basics here. Would you move him at this point?
No.
I kind of agree. I think now is not the time.
Now with Chiesa going down
after what we've just experienced and witnessed, you have a team looking for goals. You want support. You're supporting goals from your midfield. You have a player who can help that, but you choose a Rabiot, Sandro left side, and like all this stuff. It's like Rabiot scored 1 goal, I think, so far this season. Locatelli, mainly used as a deep line playmaker, has 3 goals in probably the only handful of times he's come up the pitch all season.
Does he have 3?
He's got 3 this season. And then you have McKennie, who's got a couple. These are the guys you need going up there looking for your goals. So if we're going to hang back, and Arthur is a way to help Locatelli get up there. I just don't think now's the time.
My thing with this point is 50 million. Great. Who are you bringing in?
I don't think they realized that 50 million would mean a loss in the books. You realize that, right? After amortization, he's only spent 2 years. This is his second year, I think, with the club since the Pjanic move. He stood the books close to 80 million. After 2 years, so what? 80. He's got a 5 contract. Yeah, that's 26.
Yeah.
60,
look at us trying to do math.
60, 57. If we sell him for 50, we lose 7 million euros. -7.
And then you still have to go and buy somebody. You still have to go buy somebody.
And you still have to get somebody. That's probably not good business. Just saying. What is more crucial to finish the season top 4? This question is another striker. Is it now a winger or is it a CM? Guys, I think honestly we don't need to get too crazy here. I think it's more
No.
how we play the players we have and when we
Hmm.
get going. I think Juventus needs to focus on the objectives with who they have. Sule can come in, fill on the bench, and then let's look to top four and then get hard after it in the summer. Okay. Hey, Luca, I sorted it out here live.
Look at that.
You still
Brilliant.
don't know where I live.
It's
You
true.
can't even figure out the province of Canada. Man, come on,
Yeah,
easy
he
now,
doesn't realize it's a
easy.
flight. That's behind the scenes. Don't open the closet.
I put a tweet out here. I put a tweet
Hmm.
out here a couple days ago, and it was talking about this whole situation with Chiesa and whatnot going down, and it was Kulishevsky's last shot. In my opinion, this is Kulu's last shot to make a statement, make an impression. Otherwise, I remain on my stance. He is expendable come the summer. Now, do you think it's Kulishevsky's last shot? Do you think
It
he's
had
jumping the gun and he's too young?
no. It has to be because he's a valuable asset that can be sold. He's a product. You hate to talk about they're human beings, but let's face facts. He is a product that can be sold for profit. I'd have to see all the numbers and his amortization, all that, but he is a player that can be sold. Him and McKennie can be sold for profits. So I think if there's any Kulishevsky fans out there, buckle up because there's a good chance that he could be released in the summer. I don't see him leaving now with the Chiesa injury, but yeah, will he be here in July? I don't think so. I think they're gonna offload him to
Yeah.
try and build money for that striker, and then we got to see what we have in Sule. Everyone shows me these, U18 highlights. Well, that's great. I had fantastic U18 highlights. Doesn't mean I'm playing on the first team. So,
I doubt you have fantastic U18 now, but
that was
that's okay.
awesome.
Doesn't
But you know what I mean? Like, that's great that he has those U23 and the Primavera highlights. That's great. And he had that kind of bit of a flash. He came in late for that one game, made some moves. Yeah, wonderful. But we need to see. I need to see more of him before I jump on that train.
But the thing is, we'd be asking him to come, and again, you're still asking the question of Kulishevsky to perform. This right now,
Yeah.
Kulishevsky needs to sort it out,
Hmm.
and Sule would be coming in on the bench, and he would be assisting, in minutes here and there, or whatnot, right? That's what. And I honestly, I would be fine with that, and I think again, taking that cameo, taking everything he's done since preseason, really, and with the U23s, that would be fine. That's perfect. It fits our project too, fits our mold. But again,
Is Kulishevsky
with
is he like McKennie that he needs consistent minutes? McKennie needs consistent minutes.
here's the thing with Kulishevsky, and when I got into it with some people on Twitter about it, and their argument was throwing Bernardeschi back at me. I will never understand the argument when we're talking about one player to throw out another. And they said, well, Bernardeschi's been awful for all these years. But right now, and I said this, and I can't reiterate this enough.
Mhm.
The makeup of a team changes from year to year. With Juventus over the past few seasons, it has changed massively. It is not the same team. This is not the same Bernardeschi we've had in the past, so I don't really care what he's done in the previous 4 years. The fact of the matter
Yep.
is right now, he's one of our assist leaders, and he's played better consistently than many, many guys on the roster. So right
Can't argue
now,
with it.
I don't really care what anybody really thinks personally of Bernardeschi because of the past, because right now he's not an issue. Kulishevsky has been a mixed bag. And the funny thing, when people throw Bernardeschi at you and say he's a $40 million player that's developed into this, so do we run the risk of doing the same thing with Kulishevsky, who is a 40 million euro player who hasn't given you something over a couple seasons now? And the goals, I get it. People want to throw the goals. He scored some big goals, especially Coppa Italia last season. Here's the thing. That, for me, masks a lot of subpar play. When I look at Kulishev, even his last game, prime example, he scored that goal against Roma. Otherwise, he was awful. He was bad, in my personal opinion. Now, Kulishevsky, this is why he drives me nuts, okay? This is why I'm fired up about Kulishevsky.
Sure.
This guy is
Girl.
in between every single damn position, okay? He's too slow to be a winger. He's too clunky to play as a trequartista.
Great
And
word, clunky.
and he's not good enough defensively to play as a midfielder. This guy is in between all these damn positions, and he has some traits that could see him playing here. You could see him playing there. But
Mhm.
in the end, when you see him, he's always got one downfall in every single place you play him. If I had to pick, gun to my head, I would put him as a Mitsala. That's just me. I would play him as one of those other mids that can help. So if you do have Locatelli deep line, maybe Kulishevsky can be one of the offensive guys out of a three-man midfield. That's just me, gun to my head, okay? But what
So
do you
why did
think
we
about
buy
that,
him?
man?
I think he was he was purchased for
I don't know,
Saudi, right?
Luca. Dial up Paratici. What the hell do you want from me, man? I don't know why we. Come on.
Yeah, so
Probably to
Kulishevsky,
block Inter, who wanted him big time.
yeah, basically Kulishevsky is our Luka, right? We don't really know where to put him. We just, where does he kind of fit? He's sort of in between the lines. I'm not really sure. But you bring up some good points, man. Like he doesn't what does he do well? Like what does McKennie do well? He's an attacking player, sort of defense, but he's an attacking player. We know what Locatelli does well. We know Bernadeschi does well. Does he do it all the time? No, but he's having a better season. No one can tell us what Kulishevsky does well. He had a great year at Parma, right? He was an attacking winger over there. I think he played on the
But
right a
here's the
lot more than
thing.
left.
He played as a Mitsala for quite a bit of the season. He played as a
Mhm.
winger as quite a the season. He was shifted around even at Parma. And this is the
Mhm.
thing is like now we're seeing, I think in a team that is struggling for identity and a true develop like a system, I think it's really hard for a guy like that is in between all these kind of positions.
Yeah.
Personally, I think it's hard, and he moved around a lot for Pirlo. So his first season, you kind of cut him a lot of slack. I mean, he was playing as a second striker for a lot of it.
He was all over the place that first
Yeah, he
first
was
half of the
playing out as
season.
wing back, like it was all
Yeah.
over the place, right? So it's kind of hard in that sense. But I don't know. Kulishevsky is a hard one to pin down. He
Mhm.
really is.
Yep.
So, it's tough. Would I, I I still stand behind it. For me,
Mhm.
this is his last shot to make an
It
impression.
is. It is. Hopefully he gets the minutes to do it, but it's like, and I noticed somebody in the comments said, I think it was Luca. Sorry, Luca, for dumping on you a bit there, buddy, but I had to. It's for the ratings. That's what it's for.
He's
Sule won't get called up. That's a good point. He probably won't. So how do we know what we have in this kid? It's
Yeah.
again, it
And
goes
that's
back
that's
to
one of the
this whole
frustrations is I
season.
think we need to kinda and Lou's got some good points on this. Hopefully we can
Sweet Lou.
get Sweet Lucifer in here in the mix recently because like pretty soon because he's got some great points about the project as a whole. And
Mhm.
are we committing? Are we not? Are we kind it feels like we're kind of just, dipping our feet in the pool, so to speak, on what we actually are trying to do. But we'll see what happens here. RB comps already coming in with the reverse psychology season hashtag
We'll get to that.
3-1 win for Merda, he's calling.
Mhm.
But we'll see what happens. So Kulishevsky's been a bit of a hot topic out there, and what some
Mm.
people just feel he's too young to give up, and he'll go and he'll make waves at Bayern or something like that. Look, that's great
Of
if he
course.
does, but he's not doing it for us. So what's the point? And if he
Like
does go
Coleman.
on and he does these things, there's no point in dwelling on it because we never
Mhm.
saw it. That's just it.
Never regret past business decisions. Remember that, kids. Never regret past business decisions.
Boom.
You lose sleep over it.
Boom. Boom. Okay. Supercoppa. The
Oh
Supercoppa.
yeah,
A lot of
I forgot
mixed
about that.
feelings here. And,
Mhm.
we're talking about players and you see some of the projected lineups. And, man, just people jumping on who cares about Supercoppa. Focus on the next Serie A match, and then you have a Coppa Italia match, and it's just like, don't care, play whoever, doesn't really matter. Anthony, how do you feel?
Oh, okay, we're getting right into it. Just rip the Band-Aid right
Yeah,
off.
let's get right in.
Um, how do I feel about it? About the sun coming up? I'm very excited. It's a new day. How do I feel about the Super Cup?
KM
I would
doesn't
normally
care about Supercoppa.
see, and that's the thing, right? Like I do care about it, but do I care about it this year? Hmm. It we with the things that are going on in the league, with Champions League coming up, Do I care this much as the other years? Not as much. Now, there are like one of my brothers, he would happily, pick up the whole Inter organization, put in his car and drive it into the ocean, and he would do anything to beat Inter. And there's players and there's people like that, like you. You want to beat Inter at all costs. And I get that. I remember 2006.
I'll get to my thoughts.
I know where you're going to go. This year,
I don't know if you do.
See, this year I'm just not as, we have so many other problems that I don't think, like, once we get our draw today, foreshadowing my prediction, once we get our draw today, I don't think it'll have that much of a bearing on the season. Please, Al, take it away.
Here's the thing. KM talking here, and this is what Lucifer and I got into it. KM says, exactly, I care about Supercoppa, but league is very important this season, and we have to avoid our players from getting injuries.
That's why we're playing our B team today.
Here's the thing. Our guys can get hurt against Udinese. Okay, they can get hurt in the Coppa Italia against Sampdoria. If we live in fear...
Yes, you can.
If we live in fear... What are we doing here? What kind of message are we sending to the team? I said after the comeback win against Roma, none of that matters. There's no momentum coming off of that unless you follow it up properly. Dybala, as far as going after this, I would. And I understand the importance of Serie A, but do I trust? I still want this team to win, and we need to follow up. And taking this trophy from them would be a massive, massive. This is the team that it's up to them to lose the Scudetto, okay? And you take them up, that's a big, big momentum shifter for Juve going down the stretch. And I just, it's this battle of like your mind and your heart. My heart says you go after this thing 150%, screw those guys, and don't let them take that trophy. Your mind says we must finish top four. You keep Dybala, reserve him, and let's go after that top four finish and whatnot. But I'm telling you, even the mind is saying what a massive, massive pick me up this would be for this team that's still looking for themselves come January of this season. And if it were up to me, I'd have no fear in letting Dybala go, but I'd probably cap him at 60 to 65 minutes. If it's not happening at that point, okay, you take him out. It is what it is. And it's not the be-all, end-all, if you lose it. Yep. But I think the message must be we have to go after everything with full intentions. I am 100 switch off of mentality. That's me. And
I'm 100% on the boat of do not start Dybala today. You keep his ass stapled to that bench until the 75th, and you get him to warm up his legs.
Nah,
because it's going to end in a draw, and I'll get to that, kids. All these young guys are like, oh, final can't end in a draw. I'll get to that. But okay, does this go? Someone maybe can help me with this. It might be a silly question, but I have to ask it. Does this go direct to penalty shots? Because I think Coppa Italia games go direct to penalty shots. I don't think there's overtime. I could be getting those. I think that might have been a COVID rule that year, but someone check that for me. Because if it goes direct to penalty shots, different ball game. I may have a different.
So we do have breaking news. Everybody's putting it in here. Offer set by Arsenal for Artur, loan until June with fully paid wages. But before any developments, Juventus must move forward for a replacement. It's all in the same. It's all in the same spot. What are we doing here?
Yeah, what are we talking
You've got to find a replacement. Who's coming in now? All of a sudden, so we lost Chiesa. And now we're going to shift out a midfielder to find a replacement for a midfielder and leave everything. What are we doing here? What are we doing here? We can find solutions within, but again, for just a loan for the rest of the season to save his wages, it's silly. And Any thoughts on?
No, come on, man. Like we just talked
Yeah,
about, we got to
I
get the
mean,
circus music when people. I'm not saying like the people in our comments bring that up, but when stuff like that is out in the out on the World Wide Web, well, we can bring them in, and then, but we got to find other players. Just play the circus music.
yeah.
Get
No,
the
of course you have to find a replacement, but
of course.
we just lost Chiesa. We are just all talking about how Locatelli can potentially help recoup some of the offensive contributions lost, but we're going to take away a midfielder that massively helps him do that. I don't know. Anyways, Supercoppa. Should we do a little trivia?
Okay.
And come on.
I'm gonna need a lot of help with this. I need a lot of help with
You
this.
get some help. You'll get some help. Everybody on the live's fantastic. We're missing Big Bandeezy. He's been a little MIA for some of these, and he's great at the trivia. But and no
Maybe
Omar
he's an
today.
accountant.
Sadly, he might pop on. Running a skid steer today. Who knows? Last time was a forklift. He might be on a skid steer or an excavator. We don't really know. He's kind of all over the map.
Skid steer.
So, Supercoppa Italiana.
Yep.
How many trophies has Juve won? How many
Total
Super
or this one?
total?
This one?
Total.
I think the number is. Oh, I want to say the number is 57. Or
Supercoppas?
oh no, I thought you said total trophies. Total
No,
trophies. Okay.
Supercoppas.
I
was like,
think it.
holy.
No. I'm not that bad.
You suck.
I guess it's somewhere around
Alex P coming in with 14, Georg
12?
with 15.
I was gonna say
Harold
12.
with 12. KM with 9.
Georg's doing pretty good at this stuff. I'm gonna say 12. I think it's
The
15.
correct answer is with KM 9.
We're on 9, eh? Interesting.
9 Supercopas. This will be the 10th. Huh? This will be the 10th. Okay. Those snakes, they only have 5. Nobody cares about them.
We do not.
Why don't you try and pin down the grand total of trophies, since you were trying to get at that one? Grand total of trophies for Juventus.
It's
no asterisks, by the way, like the clowns
No.
in media want to put with it. We're going to go total trophies.
Is it 57 or 58? Seems low though.
Hey,
I saw some.
So I'll tell you this.
So it's 38.
Domestically, you're almost bang on domestically.
Okay. So then
we
you
got
add
some
the
guessing total all around. Cliff's got 55. Animesh with 64. Alex P with 73.
it's not
Georg
that
with
many.
63.
Because we have
61.
We have the 2 Champions Leagues.
Cliff's changed it to 65 after I said that. Oh, death clutch 70.
You have to remember there used to be that European versus what was the
Intercontinental.
The Intercontinental Cup. We won that a couple times.
Shawn Michaels won it a bunch too.
If you're not down with DX, you can suck it. I'm gonna say 63.
Ooh.
63.
72. 72.
What?
Death clutch.
What am I missing?
Coming up short. Alex P won off. Alex P closest on that one. Cliff has had like 5 guesses on this damn thing and still hasn't nailed it. Jesus.
Even after we tell him the answer.
Yeah, look at this. Alex P, I'm the best. Congratulations.
He's modest like me.
Pat.
There you go.
Now, let's carry on, Anthony, shall we?
Sure.
Oh, what are we gonna go here?
Do you have a breakdown of those 72 trophies or whatever the hell it was?
You want a breakdown?
Yeah, please.
38 Scudetti.
Yep.
14 Coppa Italias. 9
14.
Supercopas. 2 Champions Leagues.
Yep.
1 Club Winners' Cup.
Yeah.
3 UEFA leagues, they call them back in the day, UEFA Cups, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
two Intercontinental,
I knew that one.
2 USCs, which were the UEFA Super Cups, and then 1 UEFA Intertoto Cup.
What the hell was
So,
that one? Was that against
and
the Asian winners? I can't remember.
you want me to? I can tell you what it was. Where was it here? Originally called the International Football Cup, summer football competition. It was discontinued after 2008 tournament, so it looks like it was just literally a summer tournament. Yeah, from 1961 used to take place, but it was taken over by UEFA in 1995 and then abolished in 2008.
Man,
Interesting.
what was it? I think it was 1990 when the Italian team swept the European Cups, Champions League, the Euro, Cup Winners' Cup, and then the Intercontinental. Because it was Juve, Sampdoria, Milan, not Juve, Badama. Who was it? I'm gonna look that up later. I saw that the other day. Man, that Milan team was something else. Anyways, we digress.
Should we try and nail the top scorer in the Derby d'Italia? There was 3 that are all tied.
Okay, so this is
in the Derby d'Italia. Yeah, top 3 scorers. They're top all
3
tied.
Scores. Okay, so we're going back 120 years. Thanks.
Oh my God, it's a damn plant.
Is Del Piero up there? He's the default.
He is not in the top 3.
Okay.
But
Sivori.
Sivori's in there.
Bam. That's all I got. Oh, not Raz. What was it?
Let's do something else.
Help me out.
I'm going to give you a player.
Yep.
And you tell me how many goals you think this guy's got in this this fixture or whatnot. Let's start with ADP.
How many he has against Inter?
Baggio's not in there, by the way, KM.
No.
Yeah, so against Inter in the Derby d'Italia, Del Piero.
16.
9.
Oh, man. Yeah. Okay.
And I stand corrected. Apparently, Sivori, there's mixed information here. Says 12 each on one particular outlet, and the other says he has 13. That would make him.
How do you expect me to do this? Run a proper show here if I don't have the proper information? Like this,
Hey man,
joke train. Put on the laugh track.
You know what? I'm done. Trivia's over. It's ruined. Mood's killed.
Because we got a lot. We don't have much time left here.
Miazza,
who
their stadium is named after, actually represented both teams in the Derby d'Italia.
Oh, interesting.
How many goals do you think he's got?
Let me see. They're going to tear down the stadium next year, so that means he has 16.
If Savori's the leader, and I told you he's got 13, how on earth could Miazza?
I didn't hear that. Oh, I didn't hear that. 11.
Yeah.
11.
And this guy's giving me crap about misinformation.
Yeah, it's true.
11?
All day. Yeah.
Close.
12.
12. Damn. Pietro Anastasi, how many does he have? Represented both teams.
10.
Close.
Is it 11?
9.
Oh, come on.
So even with the little Price is Right game where you could take one step over, yeah, no. Roberto Boninsegna represented both clubs. How many goals?
Man, I thought I was old. These people are ancient.
Pretty
what's
close.
That? 8. I knew with 8.
12.
Okay, 12. You want to know something?
That rounds out your that rounds out your top goal scorers. 229 Derby d'Italias.
Holy shit.
How many wins for Juventus?
That Inter team used to be very, very good.
Before
220. 200.
229 official
But this
matches.
doesn't count as a Derby d'Italia, does it? No.
Sure, it does. Yeah, they count the Supercoppas. Anything official. Supercoppas, Coppa Italia,
Ah.
Serie A, Champions
Oh, I
League.
thought it was just Serie A matches. 229 would have been a lot, but that makes sense. 229. I'll say Juventus has won 108.
Oh my God.
Hit me with it.
107.
Ooh.
That is wild. Usually I give guys like a 10 match leeway.
I
That's
don't need it.
wild.
I don't need it. Don't need it because I'm the best.
Yeah. And those snakes have only
143.
won 65 times for anybody. Just so you guys realize.
65?
65 wins. That's it.
So there's somewhere in the range of 60 draws?
57 draws. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
How many goals in 229 matches has Juventus scored?
Just Juventus.
Just Juve.
I'll say, so average 1.5. So I'll say 363.
Ooh, 338.
I'm amazing.
338.
Math, buddy. Math.
Unreal. You're doing pretty good. Pretty good.
I know.
We're going to wrap it up there. Before we talk about lineups and everything like that, everybody that's on the live here and whatnot, let's talk about favorite moments in the Derby d'Italia. Okay. Obviously, I talked about it a little bit earlier, but I got the picture of Del Piero over my shoulder here, wearing this kit. The celebration, the late free kick winner always just stands out to me. Like the celebration was just fucking deadly. Everything about that. I remember where I was to this day. Crazy celebration, losing my mind. That stands out to me. You've got the Pipita moments recently. What's your favorite?
There.
What's
Right
your
there,
favorite
21.
Derby d'Italia moment, Ant? And everybody live, let's hear all your favorite moments too.
It's hard not to say that Lazio win against Inter in 2007. No, that's not the one. That's not the one. It's the one. What was that? 2003, where we won the league on the last day. Help me out.
The Marchisio goal. That was Marchisio was 2000 and you're talking about the Cinque Maggio.
Right, 5th of May.
That wasn't even a Derby d'Italia.
I know. That's why it sticks out in my head.
That's just Lazio beating them like 4-2
That's right.
and Juve shutting out Udinese.
I know it's not a head-to-head match, but that whenever I think of this rivalry, I think of them dumping the bed that day and then us going ahead of them to win the Scudetto that day. That one sticks out. The Higuain goal sticks out. The 3-2, the header there, the 3-2 win. There's so many, but really it's that one in 2003, the 5th of May. Yeah. Even though it's not a head-to-head match.
There's been so much that's happened in this Derby d'Italia. So many crazy moments. For those that can go far back enough, the classic, the non-call, which was not a call, by the way, on Uliano. Del Piero goes back the other way, gets a PK call. He ends up not scoring on that PK, but Juventus wins 1-0. The Snakes keep crying. All sorts of madness. The one with Marchisio, that was in 2009.
When he did that he collected the ball, he did like a little woo, and
there was a lot going on there too, because you had, no, it wasn't. I don't think that match was exactly that moment, but there was something going on between the Juve fans and Balotelli and all this, right? And then all of a sudden you had Jean-Claude Blanc, who was at the club at the time, asking all the players to refrain from all this, and then Inter's players arrived on the bus and they were pelted by eggs and all this. Like it was crazy. You had a wild match, 7 bookings, a red card, a bunch of altercations on the pitch, including Gigi Buffon and Thiago Motta, and Mourinho got kicked out. And then to cap it all off, the second half, that was the winner. Marquisio, and it reopened the race because it closed within 5 points, I think, at that
What
time.
year was that?
2009.
I'm gonna look that game up.
It was wild. It was wild stuff, and
That was that's probably one of my favorite goals, skill wise, like how he like slid it between his feet.
Amazing.
Unbelievable
Technically, it was
finish.
amazing. Big Bandeezy, we were just talking about you with trivia. You are
Yeah.
in time for predictions. Okay.
Let's do it.
And look, Alex P, now he remembers it. There you go.
I'm gonna put your name, my name, and the big bandana. The big bandana is going head to head with the crew today.
Big Bandeezy's coming in here. Okay.
Big
So
B.
real quick, I'm just going to quickly pull up to see if we've got the notifications on any type of lineup changes. I have the projection as of yesterday, and I know that everybody was seeing this. We've got apparently the final training session. There were rumors when I first got up that Pellegrini was in favor to start over Sandro. The lineup tested by Allegri in the final training session was Perin, De Sciglio, Rugani, Chiellini, and Sandro. Bernardeschi, McKennie, Locatelli, Rabiot, Kulusevski, Morata.
Mm-hmm.
That is the final lineup as of training. Of course, things could still change. Number one, what do you think of that lineup, Anth?
Yeah, I'm okay with it. Going back to the beginning of the show, the Scudetto is very important this year. I think we need the full lineup for those games. I'm okay with this lineup today. Inter is no COVID, no injuries. They are, full barrels, ready to go.
I am never ever okay with a Rabiot Sandro left side. That's just so. If we're gonna play these guys, that's fine.
Yeah.
Get Big Mac over on that side at least to break up that Sandro Rabiot nightmare. Okay,
murder me.
I've already got Lachita, for God's sakes. Okay, about this freaking left side.
Yeah,
but play it out as a 4-3-3. Definitely break up Sandro and Rabiot on the left side, and let her fly if that's what you're gonna do, right?
Mm-hmm.
The other thing we would have to think about, you got De Sciglio, you got. So the weird thing there is the fact that Sandro is strictly left back. If you end up asking, well, no, if he's going to be the defensive one, ideally you would want a guy on the left side that would push forward. So
De Sciglio
does kind of make sense, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So you have to get Rabiot out of there because De Sciglio will push up on the opposite side. I'd stand behind that. Switch those midfielders sides. Allegri will not listen to me. He hasn't been on the channel for quite some time. Magician Allegri.
The mister. Yeah.
And now he's not getting the tips. And this is where we're at.
Yeah.
Hey, regardless, prediction time. Let's get ready. It's go time. Ant's got all the questions, tiebreakers, and everything. Big Bandeezy, the moment you've been waiting for. Okay, you're gonna
let's go head to head.
Death clutch. Get your predictions in, brother. Okay, let's go.
Al, start us off. Halftime score. Big bandana, get ready.
1-1.
1-1 halftime. I'm going 1-0 Inter at halftime. Big bandana, I guess he fell asleep. Okay, full-time score.
Full time?
For me, it's full-time is 1-1.
2-1 final, Juve.
And let me explain something to you 1-0 Inter halftime. Let me get that. Let me explain to the children out here in the All Juve cast, not the fans, but the people part of our group. A game can finish. See, look, Big Bandana, he's with me.
He's with you.
Can finish. When a game goes to penalty shots, the official score is a draw.
I want to see this one 2-0. I want a 2-0 Juve. Come on, Alvin. Come on.
Italy beating France in 2006. The official score was 1-1. it wasn't 1-1, and then you see like the little things in brackets. The official score is 1-1. This game
Ant-Man.
officially will end
Why
1-1.
are
So
you worried about what Cliffy and Lucas said? I never listened to those guys. Come on,
because
man. Don't worry
they
about it.
chatter in the group chat,
We're
they
good. We're
drive me
good.
nuts sometimes.
Oh
Okay,
yeah, I'm
goals.
fired up, Luca. I'm ready. Supercopa today. We
Yeah,
are taking this trophy from the Snakes. Let's go.
it's hard
Alvin
not to get
with the 2-0 to Juve. I love it. I hope that is the final.
We hope. Okay, goal scorers. Our goal scorer will be Morata.
I knew you'd like that one, Luca. I never listen to these guys.
Morata will be our goal scorer. Big bandana, get your goal scorer in.
2-1 goal scorers.
It's not really fair. You pick
Kulishevsky
two.
and
Kulu.
Morata. And for Inter, I could care less.
Yeah, we don't really care about that. Offsides, total offsides for Juventus.
3.
3?
Yeah.
I'm
Not
gonna
going to
go
be
with
many.
2. I'm gonna go with 2. Oh, look at Death Clutch.
Death Clutch. Loca and
Look at
Berna,
Tally and
yes.
Berna. 5 offsides for the big Bandisi. Okay, that's a lot. Okay, shots,
Morata
total,
and
and then
Locatelli
on goal.
for 1. Shots
Okay,
on.
I'll start with this.
Total shot attempts for Juventus will be 13.
13 and
5 on
13's
target.
That's a lot, man. I'm gonna go with 9 shots, 3 on target.
I'd like to go 11 and 4. Change it to 11 and 4.
You can't. That 13 sunk in. You're like, wow, that's
My
a
spirit
lot.
animal, Death Clutch, came in with 11. I was like, I'd like to change.
Always listen to your spirit animals. Okay,
Yeah.
Big Bandana's going 9 and 4. He's playing the Price is Right game. Always a smart move. So we have halftime, full time, goals, offside, shots on goal, yellow card for time of first yellow card.
Team and time.
Time, but if you want to throw the team in there,
Juve in the 19th, first yellow.
Oh, Juve 19th. I'm gonna go 25th, a la Al. I'm gonna go Juve in the 25th. Big Bandana, get your yellow card in time. Now, bonus points. Player to get the first yellow.
Player to get the first yellow?
Yeah.
Rabiot.
Oh, Rabiot, that's a good one. Damn it. I'm gonna say Locatelli.
Just the damn it to any prediction of mine that might succeed. Damn it.
Okay, last one. Man of the match with this lineup.
We win. Kulishevsky gets 1. Morata gets the other. Supercoppa.
Mm-hmm.
Locatelli's going to be deep lying today.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to pick Kulishevsky. The guy I've been harping on.
After everything we've talked about. Wow.
Yeah, because it's his moment. It's his time.
Yeah, I'm going
Look at the big Bandisi coming in there. Kulu.
What is the matter with you two? I'm going Locatelli as man of the match. All right, predictions locked and loaded.
McKenny, man of the match, is a couple shouts for Big Mac. Even Big Bandisi getting in there. Death Clutch with Perrin.
Not a bad call. Maybe he
Not
saves a
bad, not
penalty.
bad.
Maybe he saves a bunch of penalties
Al
in the
dumps up
penalty
Kulu for 50
shootout.
minutes, then picks him as man of the match. Hey, tough love, okay, sometimes is required. Kulishevsky's taking notes. He's like, you know what? Damn it, Alberto's right. This is my last chance.
Yep.
And today it begins, the redemption tour. Let's go, Kulu. Prove me right, okay? Change my mind. And I would gladly eat my words tomorrow morning at 8:30 a.m. Eastern time on the post-match podcast. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Enjoy the match today. As always, Fino alla fina, Forza Juventus. Let's bring this trophy and beat those Snakes down. Let's go, Death Club.